Hey you guys, I just wanted to take a few minutes today and talk to you about something that I don't normally talk about, like, not that I don't talk about, but I don't really focus on, and that is Shakeology. So a lot of you guys know that a big part of our challenge groups that we run is drinking daily superfoods, aka Shakeology, and I've heard a lot of different like misconceptions and different things about it. A lot of people are skeptical, which I completely understand. So I just kind of wanted to like take a minute and just talk about my own personal like knowledge of it and experience with it. So as many of you know, I have this crazy rare autoimmune condition, and I have for like 12 years now. And I didn't get diagnosed until probably 3 years ago or something. Actually, not even 3 years ago, like 2 years ago. So for about a year, I fought for diagnosis really hard, got it, and then for the last 2 years, I've been fighting my condition. And when I finally realized that, I officially had an autoimmune condition like I thought that I did, I started researching the heck out of it, and as I've mentioned, that's why I started kind of changing my lifestyle. I realized the importance of healthy nutrition and how things like leaky gut can contribute to autoimmune reactions. I started learning about, obviously exercise and how that's like the main method that you can get healing oxygen to all parts of your body. So I started really focusing on that. And stress management was another huge one, because increased cortisol in the body means increased acidity, means increased inflammation. But another part of what I kind of was exploring was superfoods. So an interesting thing about food. As you all know, I'm a big fan of eating organic. I don't eat 100% organic, but basically if I go to the store and there's an organic option for what I'm going to buy, I will buy it organic. I don't care about the price even. Honestly, it's worth it to me for my health. But organic, one of the things about organic food is that it has to be grown in a certain type of soil, like a certain soil composition, so that it's optimizing the growth conditions of the organic food. And basically, it's a food chain. So what's in the soil goes into the fruit, goes into your body. So better soil equals more nutrition into your body, right? But a fruit, like we'll say an apple today, organic, which is going to have more nutrition in it than a non-organic apple today, still has significantly less. I think the number is something like 40%. Don't quote me on that exact number, but it's really close to that. 40% less nutrition in it than the exact same fruit would less than 100 years ago. And that's just because of how much we've like changed and modified our food supply in a way that's irreparable. So my point is that even if you're eating healthy, which I eat pretty dang healthy, you're still lacking nutrition compared to what people were eating, like I said, just less than 100 years ago. So the American diet is particularly deficient, even if you're doing your best to eat healthy. So like I said, I started researching superfoods, and there's a couple things about them. In the ancient world, they were given kind of like mystical properties a little bit. But honestly, there's definitely like evidence to support a lot of different things about them. Like, for example, chia was given to Aztec warriors to promote energy, but it's still used to promote energy. So, I'm sure that every superfood doesn't have scientifically peer-reviewed articles written about it, but at the same time, I don't really care, because the scientifically peer-reviewed, accepted way of treating my autoimmune condition is completely ineffective for me and most people, honestly, that I've talked to. So I graduated with my bachelor's of science in biology. I believe in science, but I don't believe that science is everything. I believe it's important, but I think there's limitations to science because there's a whole process to getting something accepted within the community, and it's a very long process. So just because something hasn't been widely accepted doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true. It's only not true if it's been refuted many times. So that's kind of my perspective on that. So I started looking into superfoods, and I did start taking things that would directly correlate. Like, one of my issues is related to, like, hormone imbalance. So, like, for example, maca powder is said to help with hormone imbalance. So, like, I started doing that for that particular reason. But a lot of them, like things like spirulina or goji berry, I just started taking because I knew that they had really, like, dense nutrition in them, and that, the American diet is nutrition deficient, and that could help filling in gaps and possibly get my body working on, like, a better level. So I was taking many of them as, like, pill supplements, basically. And then I was taking some of them just in their whole form, like chia seed, flax seed, goji berry, raw cocoa powder, things like that. I just did as, like, foods, and I would, like, mix them in my smoothies or whatever. But I was taking about 25 supplements a day of different, like, superfoods and stuff. So anyway, I did that for probably a solid year or so, and I'd literally never heard of Shakeology. It wasn't even something I knew existed. And I found Melissa, and I was interested in becoming a coach. And then she told me about Shakeology, and my initial reaction, maybe just by the name or whatever, and the fact that it kind of went along with what I was seeing as, like, a diet program, my reaction was that it was going to be a crappy protein drink. Like, and by crappy, from my perspective, what I mean is not that it would taste bad. What I mean is that I thought it was going to have, like, whey protein isolate and then just be, like, a shit ton of chemicals that, like, I couldn't pronounce, and, like, a list this long. And so I really was, like, not that I wasn't into it, but I was very skeptical of it. I was like, that's not something that I would be willing to put in my body, and I wouldn't be willing to coach others and tell them to put that in their body either, because I don't believe really in eating what I view as fake food. Like, if you want protein, then my perspective is, like, go eat food that has protein in it. Like, why would you get a drink that's, like, all these chemicals that, you don't know how that's going to affect your body? Like, why would you do that? Just go eat protein. So I was very skeptical of it, but I did want to coach, and so I was like, I'm going to order my challenge pack, I'm going to do the program as it's intended to be done, and research the crap out of it and go from there. So I got my challenge pack, and I started looking at the ingredients in Shakeology, and I was like, holy crap, like, it was literally, I think, everything I was taking and more. I don't think there was anything that I was taking that wasn't in there, if I recall correctly. So yeah, it's literally 70 plus superfoods, plus there is, if you get the non-vegan, there's whey protein. I generally drink the vegan, so there's, like, pea protein and different kinds of non-animal protein sources. So there is a protein component, but the rest of the ingredients is not a bunch of chemicals, it's a bunch of superfoods. There's reishi, maca, goji, chlorella. I mean, it's such an amazing list of ingredients, and I started using it, and I felt so good. I was able to, like, not take my supplements anymore. I was able to just get it in the form of Shakeology, and also I know that Shakeology, another thing about it is the price deters people, but I can tell you honestly that I save money drinking Shakeology as opposed to when I was buying the supplements individually. That's true. I know there's this silly Shakeology commercial that goes around with Tony Horton, and he, like, adds up all the ingredients, and it's like $700 or something, like, crazy like that. And I'm sure, like, everyone looks at it as a marketing scheme or whatever, but I'm telling you from real life experience that what they're saying is actually legit. Like, that was true for me, that I was spending more on my supplements of less superfoods than I am on Shakeology that has more superfoods in it. So I just wanted to share that. And also, there's a couple complaints that I hear about it that I just kind of wanted to address. The first one is that there is beet sugar, which is like a fructose in it. And, like, optimally, if you're like a crazy health nut, then you're probably looking for something that doesn't have sugar in it. But here's the thing about Shakeology as well. The whole goal of Beachbody as a company truly is that they are combating the epidemic of obesity and all of the health problems that occur as a result thereof. And this isn't true for all people. I'm not saying for all, but for many people who are obese, they're probably not obese because they're eating too many veggies and fruits. Like, they're probably obese because they're eating the typical American diet filled with junk, candy bars, chips, fast foods, soda, whatever. So if you have someone who's eating a crappy diet and they're ready to make a change, and you hand them a shake that tastes like shit, what are the odds that they're going to stick with it? You know, to be honest, like probably none. I would stick with it because I'm a freak and I've been through hell and I don't want to ever be here again. So I am willing to drink the crappy shake to just, you know, power through it and feel well. But I would say probably 95% of Americans would not be willing to do that because we're spoiled and we're used to things that taste delicious and we're used to all the salt and all the sugar and all that junk. So they are trying to get this product to reach America widespread, and that is going to require that it tastes good. Plain and simple, love it or hate it. And I think, like, yes, there is a trade-off there, but in my opinion, it's worth it to reach more people and get more people eating daily superfoods with a little bit of sugar rather than having only this tiny amount of people even willing to, you know, stick it out because it tastes gross. So there was that. And another thing is that there's, in the chocolate flavors, there's natural cocoa, or excuse me, I think they put on their natural chocolate flavor. And so people are like weary of what that is. But, you know, I've looked into that and it's literally just different different sources and different kinds of cocoa. So COCAO, like the actual raw, like crushed up cocoa bean type cocoa, not like the processed stuff that's in your milk chocolate candy bar cocoa. So, yeah, I just wanted to address some of this stuff. I know it's kind of a lengthy video, but I don't really go on and on about Shakeology because I don't think it's necessary. And when you guys contact me about our programs, I do, you know, inform you about what it is and why it's valuable and why it's important. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there who might not even reach out to me because they're like, oh yeah, I'm not into that protein drink stuff. So, I'm not trying to convert you at all. I'm just trying to inform you guys from my knowledge and also from my experience with superfoods. Like I said, that was something I was doing on my own long before I found Beachbody or Shakeology. And then once I found Shakeology, I was able to switch over to that instead of the supplements. So that's how valuable I think it is that, you know, you guys know I'm on a crazy health journey. I'm determined to get into remission with my health condition. I'm blessed that I'm actually in very stable condition. And, you know, my condition is considered progressive, which means it would always be getting worse. And I've done so many insane things for my health and changed my lifestyle so much that I've gotten significantly better. And I generally stay at significantly better. Unfortunately, I'm not completely in remission yet, but obviously I'm working towards that. And I do not at all claim that Shakeology or anything that I'm doing is a miracle cure. Nothing has been a miracle cure. But I 100% believe that every single thing I have done has been a small step in the right direction and a small piece of the puzzle that has gotten me to where I am and kept me where I am today. So I just want to share this from my heart with you guys because I think it's important. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of get some information out there. So if you guys ever had any questions or, you know, if you were just like me and felt kind of skeptical, like feel free to shoot, you know, comment below, shoot me a private message or whatever, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about it. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day and that you have a rad weekend. We're heading up to Big Bear this weekend and I'm so excited. I'm going to completely like unplug from social media for all business purposes, and I can't wait because I've been crazy busy because of size. So yeah, expect to see a little less of me on that level for the weekend, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. See ya.